Hi there, Aries. Welcome back. Alright, guys, let's get into this. Remember that this could be past, present, or future reading. So, remember that it's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. The first card out we have is the Queen of Blades. So, you might have Libra, or you might have Aquarius, or maybe even Gemini in your chart, okay? We have two people on the table. So you're combating somebody, you're facing somebody. I'm hearing you have overcome quite a bit in your life. Everything that was supposed to break you did not break you. I'm hearing that you are finally getting back in that driver's seat of your life. Ooh, and planning ahead. Okay, so you're back on track again. You're back on track. That's what I'm hearing. You have changed directions in your life. It looks like you have you've gone through something really terrible where you've had to distance yourself from a situation. This could be physical, but it implies more of a mental thing. Like you mentally had to get away from somebody in order to clear your head, or maybe even one of you had to sneak away from somebody. That's what I'm hearing. So you might have had to sneak away from somebody just to, you know, for your mental state, because it's important. It is important. It's the most important thing. Okay. The final card in this reading is the Five of Swords. I don't like that. I'll tell you right now, Aries, I don't like that, but let's find out more. Okay, so this could be somebody who portrays himself to be very loving. It could also be a water sign too, so a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. I'm hearing that when this person talks, when they speak, they could be very short and very sharp with their tongue, right? It looks like you are facing each other. I think there was at one time there was love between the two of you. At one time there was compassion and respect between the two of you. What happened? That's crazy. What happened though? What happened was somebody in the relationship got bored. Somebody in the relationship wanted to get their own way. Somebody in this relationship just didn't want to put in the effort. They just didn't want to put the effort into this connection anymore. And it got to the point where you realized, do you really want to keep going with this person? Did you really want to keep trying with this person? It looks like eventually you gave up. It's like they weren't putting in any effort, so why would you put in effort? And that's the energy I'm getting. Like, when you have better things to do, I don't know why people don't understand that. Like, you know what I mean? When they trap you into a relationship and then they end up wasting your time, and it's like, why? Why would, you know what I mean? Like, what are they getting out of this, I mean, if they wanted out a long time ago, then why don't they just go? Why do they have to stick around and play these games? Just face it, okay? I feel like this person hurt you severely. Yes. I'm hearing that you needed to move quickly. I'm hearing that you needed to move strategically, because this person was like creating some kind of web. Some kind of web where they made things appear like things were peaceful, things were harmonious between the two of you. They made things appear a certain kind of way for a reason, because they didn't want people around to understand what was going on behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the only reason why people do these kinds of things. You know that, right? It's because they don't want people to see them for what they truly are. And the thing is that You really don't know somebody until you're in a relationship with them, and that is the truth. I mean, from the outside, somebody could look like, they're so nice, they're so great, and I'm seeing that with this person on the table. This person portrays himself to be such a great person. And the thing is that people don't know. You really do not know somebody until you're in the middle of it with them. And I bet you anything, this person made you think that they were just this sweet teddy bear. And you fell in love with that sweet teddy bear. Male or female does not matter, okay? Like, you fell in love with that person, the person that you met, only to find out that it wasn't them. Not the real them, you know what I mean? And not the real person. Like, why do people do this? It doesn't make no sense, And I'm seeing here that this person, they made you struggle. They made you struggle, but the thing is that it was all done behind closed doors. You struggled in silence, alone, behind closed doors, where nobody could see, nobody could hear, nobody could know. And that's what I'm seeing here. You got your feelings hurt a lot. This was like a long period. That's what I'm hearing. This was a long period where you went through trauma and loss and grief and crying, and it was terrible. But you had no choice. You had to move on. You can't stay in a place where you're not going to be able to grow, right? It's like putting a plant in the closet and expecting the plant to be able to, grow and blossom, and you know what I'm saying? This actually came sideways, guys, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. Okay. I'm hearing you have a lot to give somebody. You have a lot to give to somebody, but it's like it's just being put on a shelf. You have a lot of love, a lot of respect. I mean, wow, the moon is coming out twice, guys. Wow. So, for one of you, or several of you, I'm hearing that this person did things to deliberately cause you to be afraid. Why did they do that? Like, to seriously cause you to be, like, really afraid. Why did they do that, Spirit? Because of the Ace of Wands? Because they found it to be exciting? So they scared you, like, almost out of your mind. Had you afraid constantly because it was exciting to them? Why, Spirit? Because it was exciting because it was their toxic nature. It was exciting, and it was, their toxic nature. They're manipulative. They can't hide who they are all the time. You know what I'm saying? So this is why behind closed doors, Aries, this person's mask would fall off. To the world, everybody thinks this person is wonderful. They go to this person for advice. Can you imagine? People actually go to this person for advice? Relationship advice? What? And look how they were behind closed doors. They were the devil behind closed doors, is what I'm hearing. And this person was constantly making traps for you to fall into because it was exciting for them. How crazy is that? How sadistic is that? You were dealing with somebody very sadistic. And I can tell you right now, every little thing that you did was wrong. You cooked wrong. You cleaned wrong. I can already hear it now. Everything that you did was wrong. Your job was wrong. The career that you pursued was wrong. Everything was wrong. So then why did they get with you if you're so wrong? You know what I'm saying? Why would they want to get together with you if you were so wrong? You weren't wrong. That's the thing. You weren't wrong. So everything that you did, Aries, this person deliberately went against it. So you were a team of one. That's what I'm hearing. You were a team of one, all by yourself. I'm hearing that you were committed, like you were committed to this commitment, but this person was not. This person didn't care to have anything grow. Like they didn't care to have, yeah, growth. Because when you get together and you're a couple and you're together, what happens is you grow. You grow as a couple. You're, like you get a better house, you get a better car, you get better stuff, better furniture. Things just get better when you work together, right? You work together, things are supposed to get better, but instead it was like you were working alone. You were pushing ahead alone. You were so focused on the end goal I want to say for a really long time that you had a vision. You had things that you wanted to accomplish in this world. And this person deliberately took it away from you. Deliberately, I want to say even sabotaged you. They did it on purpose. They didn't put effort into things. They didn't care to put effort into it. So why are they in the relationship? This is what blows my mind, is when I get people like this on my table and it's like, why? Why would you waste somebody's time like that? Why would you put somebody through something like this? Like knowing that you are incapable of being a good partner. Like why would you even do something like this? You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't even make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm hearing y'all were never on the same page, but they definitely made it seem like y'all were. That's the frustrating part. That's the part that just blows my mind. Like, why would they do this? It doesn't make sense, right? I'm hearing that you got to the point, Aries, where working alone and just doing everything alone became normal. Like, it really did. It just became so normal. Like, pushing ahead and planning things out and cleaning the house and taking care of the kids or whatever it is that you did, right? It just became to the point where you were always alone and it just became comfortable. And to the point where sometimes you just prefer to be alone rather than to have that person around you. You know what I mean? This person was angry with you. You know that? This person was angry with you. They did this because they were angry with you. Why? Hold on. Let me go back to that. Why is that? Because of the Hermit in reverse? Why were they angry? Because of the Ten of Cups? Hold on. Why were they angry? Because this person was angry. Okay. Well, we do have the Hermit in reverse. So, with the Hermit in reverse, and we have the Ten of Cups coming out in reverse. So, there definitely was a lot of unhappiness. And the lack of planning, the lack of vision, the lack of looking forward. You know what I'm getting? This person was making bad decisions, poor decisions. They were being impulsive, doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. And they were being a hypocrite. They were being a hypocrite. So, so basically, what I'm understanding is they were making rules for you, but they didn't have rules for them. So they blamed you because they were feeling emotionally not fulfilled. So apparently that's your fault. They made it seem like it was your fault. That's what I'm getting, Aries. So, whatever, right? What I'm getting is that they started feeling distant from you, and it wasn't just you. If you have kids with this person, they started feeling distant from the children too. So at some point, they changed their mind. But it looks like you might have had children already. If not, then you had pets already with this person. And it's like they changed their mind. You know what it gives me? Y'all remember that guy, Chris, in Dallas, Texas? He was married. He got this girl to marry him. Beautiful girl. Well, woman, I'm sorry. Beautiful young woman. He got her to marry him, and she was very successful. Remember, guys? And she had 2 little girls with him. He unalived them because he changed his mind. Yeah. I'm not saying that this person's going to do that, but the point I'm trying to make is that some narcissists are capable of that. Some narcissists are capable of going so far and then just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So you know what? I'm just going to be angry with you because it's your fault that I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's the energy I'm getting from this person. Because they weren't happy, then that was just your fault. The whole concept of this person, um, being responsible for their own happiness, when it goes right over their head, like, nope, not today. You know what I'm saying? Nothing there. Seriously. Instead, they just wanted to blame you and be angry with you and then keep this appearance going of happiness, of them being this loving, caring person. This person is a covert narcissist. I see here that you felt like you were isolated, even though you weren't physically isolated, but you felt like you were isolated. You more likely felt like nobody understood you. It's because of this person. And physically, no, you weren't isolated physically, but you were isolated emotionally and psychologically, especially psychologically. This person did that to you on purpose. I want you to know that. And the reason why I'm telling you that story, Aries, about that man, Chris, that did that to that beautiful, beautiful girl. She was beautiful, beautiful young woman. Ambitious, smart, hardworking, very successful young woman. And the only thing she really needed in her life was, a family. She was old enough to, I think she was like 25, 27, something like that. Beautiful. I mean, he had everything. He had 2 beautiful little girls. The point is that you look at somebody like her and look what her husband did to her. And she was gorgeous. I mean, so much to offer somebody. And 2 beautiful little girls. You know what I mean? I hope you understand what I'm about to say. If that could happen to her, right? And this person treated you so horribly, isolated you, psychologically isolated you, made everybody around you think that that person was just so wonderful when they weren't. When you were literally in a relationship completely alone. I hope you understand what I'm going to say. You got away lucky. I know it sounds crazy because you're thinking, what? I got away lucky. Yes, you did get away lucky. Because a covert narcissist like this, that can get you down in the middle of a relationship and then just turn the tables. And I want you to know this fly keeps coming around because we're talking about somebody who's not a good person, a demon. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that you got that far with this person and you're still here. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like that poor woman, she didn't have a chance. He just decided, he didn't want that no more. He actually started cheating on her. And that's a true story. You can look it up. His name is Chris. I know his name is Chris. I don't remember her name right now. But it happened in Dallas. And not very far from me actually. And the thing is that it's like, what? You know what I'm saying? How could he not be happy with that? The point is that when you're a good person, you're not exciting anymore. You see what I'm saying? Covert narcissists need somebody that they can, pretend or make themselves look like they're better than them. They need that. They need that. They need to hang around with people who are morally corrupt because it makes them feel morally superior. They would deliberately go out of their way to hang out with people specifically for that reason. And the point is that when they have somebody good like you, they're not happy. When they have somebody who's stable like you, they're not happy. You're not exciting. You're not robbing banks. You're not cheating people. People are not coming banging on your door, screaming that you owe them money. You're not exciting. You don't have enemies chasing you everywhere. You know what I mean? You're a good person. That's the thing. And that's why this person got bored with you. That's it. I mean, you gotta laugh. That's really it. And that's the whole reason why this person hurt you. And this is the whole reason why they played these games. It's just because you're a good person. You're a good person. You're stable. You're mentally stable. You're mentally healthy. Obviously, you were hurt. Your reactions to everything is very normal. Very normal for a person who is going through a very abnormal situation. And you were going through a very abnormal situation. So of course you're going to be upset. Of course you're going to get hurt. Of course you're going to end up isolating yourself because, really this person did it to you. But I think part of it is you as well. But it's because your mind, you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to focus like, wait a minute. Why is this happening to me? So yeah, you weren't isolated for real. Not physically, but psychologically you were. And you were psychologically abused by this person because of their games and their manipulation. And they're constantly needing that excitement. Because, see, you weren't exciting enough, right? Because you weren't doing all those horrible things. So what did they do? They had to gaslight you. They had to create these situations because it made it exciting for them. They had to disrupt the whole family because that's what I'm seeing here. They had to disrupt the whole family just to get their kicks. That's how shallow and how small this person is. And remember that. That's how tiny of a little person that this person is. That they can't even realize the effects of their actions on the whole family. Okay? Because I feel like you might have had children with this person. Like they can't even, you know what I mean? It's all about them. Everything's always about them. That's how tiny these people are. How small-minded their little brains are. And that is also why this card is coming out. Because you know what, Aries? This person was jealous of you. Because you had peace in your life. I mean, yeah. Not the part that they created. That wasn't peaceful. But what I'm talking about is without that person, if they weren't constantly playing mind games and treating you this way, think about it. You would have a very peaceful life. You would have mental stability if this person wasn't playing games with you. In other words, everything that you need, you have it. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why they were jealous of you, because you don't have that need that they did to be sneaky and sneaking out and doing things behind your back and playing mind games and making you believe, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do none of that. You're a very happy person all on your own. You don't have to play games. See what this person does. That's the only way for them to feel something, because they're dead inside. And that's the truth. And that's also why this person had very, very unrealistic expectations of you. Like I said, everything you did was wrong. The way you cleaned was wrong. The way you cooked was wrong. The way you dressed was wrong. Your career was wrong. Everything was wrong. But there's a reason why this person was like that. It's like they expected you to be more than them. Be more like not even human. It was a nightmare. Oh yeah, I'm seeing it here. Look. It was a nightmare. This person's coming into your reading, Aries. I want you to know, because they are angry with you and they're still angry with you. All right. I'm seeing Five of Blades being the final card there. I'm seeing the Queen of Wands. It's definitely you. It's you because you're in control. They're angry with you. Look at that. You got this. Ooh, look. I don't know if y'all can see this, but yeah, you got this person stuck in their head. Because you're fine. You were fine before you met them, and now that they're out of your life, you're fine again. The only time you were having problems was when this person was in your life. Really, that's it. The only time you were having problems was when this person was in your life. Think about that. The only time you were going through all this grief and suffering and unsure of what was going on half the time was because this specific person was in your life. That's why they're angry. They're angry because you have, I'm going to put the card here. I don't know if y'all can see it. I hope so. They're angry because of this. Spirit's telling me to pick from the bottom of the deck. Because of this. You're passionate. You know what I mean? You have a fire inside of you. That's why you have a vision. Look at that. A vision. You sit in your power. You're not easily persuaded. You make up your mind. You stick to it. You have a vision of the things that you would like to accomplish in this world. You have a vision of how things should be in this world, or how your life should be. They don't have that. They don't have that. This is why they're jealous of you. This is why they're angry with you. Because you are out there living your best life. And this person is like stuck in their head about how, you're fine, and yet they're still the same old ugly person. They're still stuck in their head and still unhappy because look at that. The Ace of Coins in reverse. Because nothing's turning out the way that they were hoping. See, do you understand? I hope I'm making it clear. See, they're still a mess. Without you in their life, they're still a mess. But they are so angry because you are back together again. They didn't destroy you. You understand? Like, they didn't destroy you. They didn't get that chance that they wanted to be able to destroy you and pull you down and turn you into them. It didn't happen. And it will never happen. You will always be an honest person. You will always be a good person. You will always have that fire and excitement inside of you to live. You will always have that, with or without this person. And then, they will always be the devil. They will always be needing that fix, that drama fix, that chaos that like turns them on. They're just angry with you because they couldn't destroy you. You're very resilient. You got back on your feet again and you're moving on with your life and you're doing fine. As a matter of fact, I would say more than fine considering everything that you've been through. Whatever. I'm gonna get out of this reading, Aries. This person is a nut. But this person is definitely still around you and they're still mad at you and they're angry because they can't get their fix anymore because nothing they're trying on you is gonna work. Right? So now they're stuck. Now they need a new victim. That's what they need. They need to go off and find themselves somebody else that they can play with. Aries, I do hope this helped you out. I hope I said something that was comforting or helpful, um, made you feel better about this situation. I don't know. Okay? I don't see this person exactly planning anything other than they're angry with you and other than the hell that you've been through with this person. For one of you, this could be a future reading, so keep that in mind, okay? So if you haven't gone through this yet, this could be something that's coming your way. Because remember, there's no timestamp in tarot, right? This could be a past, present, or a future situation. So whatever you do, don't ignore the red flags. As soon as you start seeing those red flags, don't waste your time. Anyways, Aries, catch me in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment because it helps the channel grow. Y'all take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye, guys.